People, Deluded, I'm back again. Why the camera is so far from me, I have no clue, but I decided to push it there. Last time it was looking a bit mad, like it was looking like this is crooked in there. Obviously, I just know about football, man. I don't know about production and all of these lights and things and all of these funny business things, people. But in relation to Arsenal, there's some things I would like to speak about first and foremost with you lot, man. You know, it could all be nonsense, but stuff to talk about, especially as the deadline is about to close. And if you've been following football, Bruno Fernandes looks to be going United. Spurs look to be signing a couple lads. I've signed for Spurs. Burjai, I can never say his name, but the lad that's gone to Spurs from PSV. There's been a couple other movements here and there. Richarlison, £85 million bid from Barcelona, rejected for Everton, smoking the malice of Budge. But in that regards, let's crack on with Cedric Suarez. Now, Cedric Suarez, when someone says him to me, I don't necessarily think he's the best defensively. I think his strengths would probably be going more forward. I think someone who's fast and relatively dynamic. Inconsistent crosser, but likes to try and put balls in. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm watching man religiously more so than any other regular view of the Premier League. He's been at, I think he was part of the Portugal side that won the Euros. He's been at Southampton since 2015, and we're being linked with a loan move for the individual who's got a couple of months left on his deal. Apparently there's an option, which we've probably agreed with him and his advisors, to, you know, he's coming on loan and we're paying them a fee, but we've more or less tied up. If he wants to stay permanently, there's a four-year deal here. And you lot can't remind me, but I want to see how old he is for that 4-year deal thing, people. But apparently, Ornstein has said the expectation is Arsenal will complete the signing of the 28-year-old. So if he signs a 4-year deal at 28, he's decent. Then he's on a deal until he's 32. On decent wages as well, staying in London until he's 32. So good move for him and his family. When he at 32, he might even get a new deal here or somewhere. Obviously, when you're 32, many teams are reluctant to give you anything more than a one-year deal with an option of another. So he's got if I'm his agent, I'm pushing that boat out, man. I'm saying 4-year deal, maybe an option of a 5, or maybe even try to push that to a 5, people. For Arsenal, I wouldn't give him a 5, but apparently it'll be completed within the 24 hours. It'll be a loan until the end of the season. The Saints will earn $5 million, including full salary cover, and Arsenal will be in pole position if they want a permanent deal when he's a free agent in the summer. What I'd like to ask as well, if it's that, and I'm not too sure on rules, I don't think he'll be able to play, but can he play against Southampton when we play against them if needed? Who knows? Arsenal love a £5 million loan signing now, innit? What? That's almost 15 million or close to that for Ceballos, for Suarez, and Cedric Suarez. Suarez, hopefully I've said his name correctly, people. So it's someone we've identified, you know. Again, I don't know. Do you know what? Suarez could have been someone 6 months ago. We identified his deal was running out and we put him and Pablo Mari on the table. Again, they might not necessarily be the most inspiring of signings, but we need stuff. We need some options. Obviously, what that could mean is, what does it mean for Maitland-Niles? Because it was looking like he could have a future at fullback. He was in good form. Previously, Arteta, when we had more of a fullback crisis, when speaking directly about Saka and Maitland-Niles, he referred to them as attacking players, one as a winger and one as a midfielder, centrally based. Now, Saka's done his thing at fullback to the point where you're hearing allegedly Edu and the people above Arteta, under similar circumstances and for a similar fee almost, wanted to bring Kazawa to the team. So if they identify 2 fullbacks and a centre half of whatever, Saka's been whether it's Saka, whether it's Kolasinac, form, whether it's whatever, he's seen to veto that signing and you know, holding it up at this moment in time with the 18-year-old Saka. So does he believe in Maitland-Niles' capabilities long term as a right back? Maitland's done his thing under him. Bellerin's come back and he's been shaky since his return, but he's, you know, his last couple of games he's looked all right. He will probably be the first choice fullback. What does that mean for Maitland now? Does that mean he's going to get a chance in midfield? In central midfield, which seems to be congested. It seems to be, if any young player, it's Joe. I think Maitland-Niles, I won't say necessarily he's earned the right, but we might as well try him in a role. We might as well see what capabilities he can bring to the table there. The obvious thing people say is, the good thing is that he doesn't panic. The bad thing is that he doesn't panic on the ball. He'll need more urgency in midfield. But he's fairly dynamic. He could potentially be a ball winner in midfield. Obviously, his final ball isn't the best, but I think he's better in the final third than Bellerin, to be fair with you. But these things can improve. For Maitland, from now to the end of the season, he's got to ask himself tough questions if he wants to stay at Arsenal long term, because he's really got to fight for his role. Arteta might have different plans for him. Technically, did he not play on the wing, some wing midfield hybrid thing against Bournemouth when he came off the bench? Arteta might have plans for him, but he's got to ask himself how many games he's going to play. Because he goes through these weird spells where he plays a lot of games, obviously through injury, playing at fullback. When everyone's fit, there's been times he's not been in the matchday squad. So he's at a crossroads, not just at Arsenal, but in his career. What position does he want to nail down? What team, can he stay at a team where he's going to be a first name on the team sheet or a regular? I like Maitland. I think he can be a decent rotating or squad option, first team regular if he proves it. I think Maitland's a decent player, but it's down to him. And this might be a kick up the bum in the same way that it is at left back, because essentially there's 3 men fighting for one position now. We know Saka is a winger, but you know it's a genuine option there now. When Tierney's fresh home and back from his injury, he's probably the first choice and should be. Kolasinac has done his best when he's been playing since Arteta's come to complicate matters. So there's 2 man out and out left backs, but 3 man fighting for that. And then, you know, Arteta might genuinely want the same on the other side. He might, you know, Suarez, I can call upon you according to Bellerin's injuries, and Maitland-Niles is there and whatnot. Not to play devil's advocate, and I don't believe Bellerin is going to leave this club, but let's just say Bellerin said tomorrow I want to depart, and we decide we want to go with Maitland and Suarez as the options, long, short and medium term. I'm not saying that, but I owe it to you to throw that one in the air. I'm not saying Bellerin's going and these sort of things there. So who knows, people? We'll have to see what happens in regards to him, people. I will say off topic as well, it appears that Arsenal today, which is Wednesday, they trained at the Emirates, which I know Emery was doing that at one point as Arsenal gaffer, and it seems that Thingy's doing it as well. Again, I'm not, obviously I watch Southampton, but I don't know unless you're a Southampton fan, you don't know the ins and outs of what's going on in their team, but there has to be a reason. Because I'll put in, I'm sure he had a higher regard in football than he does now, people. At 28, obviously he needs to go somewhere where he's going to be utilised and whatnot. Let's see how many games he's played this season, people. And by the time I probably bring out this video, he probably will be announced, but there's been 16 games played. He's played 16 times in the league. Has he been injured? Has there been any other reasons? He was on the bench in the first 3 games. He then got 90 minutes in the other 3 games. He might have been injured, but he wasn't in the squad for 5 games, really. Well, yeah, 5 games from Spurs to City, and the 3 games, which was Chelsea, Wolves and Leicester in between. He obviously played in the 2-2 draw against us, and that might have, you know, who knows, man. Something might happen there. Yeah, man, he got 21 minutes against Palace, but other than that, he's been more or less of late since the 45 minutes forever against Everton, where he was playing in a different role. He seems to have been in the lineup, so there's got to be a reason as to why they want to get rid of him and whatnot, or happy to let him go. I'm sure he went to Inter Milan a time and it didn't bang for him, so there could be something we don't know in relation to what he's coming with. But yeah, he was Southampton's right backs in their team, because I know they got Valerie. That's not how you spell Southampton. I know they got young Valerie in that, but let's just go on one of their recent games. There you go, right back. Okay, cool. There's Cedric. That's not helpful. I'm sure Yoshida can do a role there. They got Valerie, and who knows, when he's back from injury, it might be a different thing. I'm trying to find a game. Oh, so they've played Danso at fullback. He's a new signing. Wasn't he playing over in Germany? I'm sure Jack Stevens can technically play there as well. They've obviously got Valerie, or there might be another option they're going with, or a young G. I know they've got Kyle Walker-Peters on loan for the season, so they might be identifying someone long term while they persist with him. Who knows, people? No, I don't want to see the highlights of that game. I want to see the lineup. Yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll have to see what happens in regards to him and Maitland-Niles. Finally, Don, I'm not trying to say he's rubbish or any of these things, but I saw this statistic floating online, and obviously as much as I try and watch previous games, go over previous clips, listen to what people who watch him say, I don't know what Pablo Mari is going to do. I don't know. I'm intrigued about the player. I hope he can be an underrated sign and go on to be a good centre-half. Lord knows, as an Arsenal fan, we're praying for a competent defence. But Do you know what? I don't know if he's an aggressive centre-half. I don't know any of this. But apparently he's committed more fouls, which are 28, than he made tackles, 22, for the side last season. So obviously stats are without context. This could mean his positioning was good, so he didn't need to make too many tackles. People see that less glamorous aspect of defending. Do you get it? Some of these fouls could have been tactical fouls and needed fouls, and it just looks bad statistically. Or it could just be he's making more fouls than he's making tackles. I'm intrigued to see about the player, so I thought I'd mention that to you guys. I don't think I got any other talking points, but we might as well scout social media and then type Arsenal in Google and see what happens. Apparently, we're preparing content on our YouTube channel for Danny Ceballos, so maybe you don't go. That's decent. It's decent from us. We're paying 5 million, and we're giving them 5 million, and then it becomes a free transfer. But we've more or less paid with a loan fee of 5 million. We've more or less just paid 5 million for the guy, really and truly. But if he's smart, he should keep all his options open, guy. If you're on the China thing or something happens, you just say, "See you, Arsenal, I'm out of here." Apparently, though, he's got problems. Though apparently, Hustle said 6 days ago he's out for 3 weeks, maybe with a ligament injury in the knee. Apparently, he's only expected to miss the Burnley game on Sunday if he does become an Arsenal player, people. So we'll have to see, man. Apparently, they're still pursuing other potential options as well. So until he's obviously like Pablo Marie at this point, you can see it. He's pictured in the kits and that. Until he's like that pictured in the kits, don't know if you lot can actually see that. We can't take anything for granted with these players, people. And one thing I like what Marie has said is he said, "I'm a very professional player. I like working hard every day to achieve objectives. One thing I control is working hard on a daily basis. One thing I can control, is working hard on a daily basis to help my teammates to win matches and repay the favour that Mikel and Arsenal have shown by signing me to play here. So that's my main objectives. I want to take it one day at a time and achieve big things at Arsenal." So hopefully all that's on the football field, my guy. I like what I'm hearing from you. Like I said, I'm fully behind the side and I give everyone their time. But I hope he's, for me, in an ideal world, Liverpool winning 1-0, I really need to get out of here and go make vids, people. Please be someone in my FPL. Salah. I don't even think I got him, but... yeah, man, I want him to come and be a decent defender, because Lord knows as an Arsenal fan, we've been praying for some genuine options there, man, really and truly. And it's all on him. Technically, it's a loan deal, whether it's a loan like Cedric's, where we might buck you the P later, or we might make it a permanent at a later date. It's all on him. You play well, you make it a permanent, you're an Arsenal player forever. You don't, you go back to Flamengo. And they're a good side, and he's achieved decent things there, Copa Libertadores and things. So it's all in him. For me, I keep saying all the vids, but I hope he plays well, because if I was him, putting myself in his shoes, I would see reports and saying, yeah, he was a City player, but he never played, he weren't that good to fire me up. And away from fans and listening to what other people say, me personally, I would have that personal chip on my shoulder that I'm a European, I'm Spanish, so I'm European by default. I'm really established myself more in football. Despite making my debut for my team in Spain at 17, I've got more of a standing through what I've done in the South American content of Brazil than I've done here. Do you get it, people? Really and truly. The best thing for him to do is, I would want to prove that I can be a success here. Repay the faith and things, prove I can be a success. Obviously, he probably will not get called up for the Spanish side, but if you play well and you nail down a spot, if he is a good centre-half, because I don't know at this moment in time beyond what I see, you could, when they start talking about getting called up for the Spain squad, and what a fairy tale that would be. I mean, a man's left Europe for 3 months or so, cemented himself at Flamengo, and then he's got a call up by his home nation. These are the things of dreams, and it's all down to him. Again, I don't know if he's good or bad. I'm prepared to give him a chance. I'm sure you lot know more than me. I'm sure everybody's an expert on this player, but I'm happy to see what he is. He's 26, so obviously we give a man them time to adapt to that and, get used to the team, but kind of want to see him hitting the ground running. It is what it is in that regards, though, but I ain't got nothing more to say or add, so I'm not going to do you a lot of disservice or overstaying my welcome. You lot have got better things to do. So on that note, people, as usual, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking with the guy each and every time. It means the world. Gotta love you and leave you. See you tomorrow, guys, or probably in the morning, or probably at some other point with these vids, but I'm out.